Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm making an unscripted video where I'm not going to be using my teleprompter today. I want to talk to you about if you're a foreigner and you're planning to move to the Philippines, or maybe you're already here, and if you're thinking about having a business, hiring employees, or maybe you just don't want to have to deal with cleaning up around the house, and you want to hire a housekeeper, you're going to want to know what the 13 months pay is. This is a mandatory thing, and needless to say, I was blindsided by this, and I'll go into what happened to me, just everything that went on when I learned about this in late December. So, stick around. So, my brother and I moved to the Philippines and arrived November 1st of 2024. And I already had this friend, a good friend, on my Facebook. She's a fellow YouTuber, and we had already prearranged that she was going to come and work for my brother and I as a housekeeper. And I knew that she, being a Filipina, a lot of them have money problems, and she was taking care of her mother. And she had a lot of close family that also, some of them didn't have jobs. So I think that the amount that she had wanted was 10,000 pesos a month as a live-in housekeeper. But knowing that she was dealing with some money issues, I said, well, why don't we go ahead and make it 12,000? I don't know if that's the going rate, if that's too much, or if it's not enough. Let me know in the comments if you have a housekeeper. But prior to coming here, we had helped her out with what she asked for were advances. And I had told her that she didn't need to pay us back. So what ended up happening was we got here, she came to work for us, and she was like family to us, to my brother and I. It was almost like she was a sister. So there were various times when she would request an advance, which was not an issue. Sometimes I didn't like doing it, but I always, can you advance me 1,000 pesos or 500, and then just deduct it from the next month's pay. So what I'm going to get into now is, I believe it was on December 28th of 2025, so a little over a month ago. She came up to me and said, Mike, 13 months pay. I go, well, what is that? I don't know what that is. So she explained to me, if you have an employee, and me being the employer and my brother, that you need to pay an additional month's pay, and it's usually in December. And so she wanted that whole thing, along with the monthly salary, which we pay right around the 1st of every month. And I had a trip because I was going to Manila on the 3rd. So it was a little bit of a strain on my budget, but we were able to make it work. So that I really didn't like, just because of the fact that it was something that I didn't know about, and it was the timing of my upcoming trip. So, but the other thing that I argued with her about was that we had sent her, so she wanted the extra 13 months pay, which was an additional $12,000. She'd already borrowed some money, so it turned out to be less than $24,000, $19,000 something. So, but what I didn't like was we had advanced her more than the month's pay before we even came here. And I had told her, I said, after I was here, I said, don't worry about paying it back. It's a gift. And so, I explained to her, I said, what I don't like about this 13 months pay thing is that we've already given you that much and more. And so we were nice enough to do that. Well, you could turn around and be nice and say, I don't need the 13 months pay. She said, no, it's mandatory. You have to pay it. Okay. So that's what really kind of pissed me off. And I had a real attitude toward it. Now, this whole thing kind of went back and forth with her, and the relationship with her as far as business and being a sister and us being like brothers really began to deteriorate. My brother had been locking the door to his bedroom, and of course he has a key, for about the last 8, 9, maybe 10 months now, because he just didn't want her going in there. He if he wasn't here, he wanted to keep his things private. She didn't have an issue with that. I always kept my door open. I didn't care. If she wanted to come in and get some laundry or maybe get some medicine off my desk or something, it wasn't a big deal to me. And I had all of my vlogging equipment right over here. Had all of my vlogging equipment, a computer, laptop, and, I trusted her. Well, when she all of a sudden said that she needed this 13 months pay, I said, I think my brother it's a little too much for him to be paying for this, because I've got the little extra income more than he does. He's paying on some credit card debt and then paying a rent here in the Philippines, so it's really tough for him to go ahead and pay all of this extra money. So we had told her that we're just going to let her work 6 more months. June 1st, that'll give her time to find another job or become an OFW. But knowing that she was not going to be working for us anymore, that was when I decided to go ahead and start locking my door. And that's why I was telling you about my brother locking his door. Well, now all of a sudden I'm locking my door. She got all hurt by that and started saying how embarrassing it was. I said, well, first of all, my brother's been doing it. You didn't have an issue with that. And now all of a sudden I'm locking my door. What is the big deal? We never had that. I never said that to her, but that's what I thought. So this was very, very calculating, because she stuck around until the 31st of December, and that's when I paid her monthly salary plus the 13 months pay. Then I saw her over at the across the street at a shopping mall, small shopping mall, strip shopping mall. Said hi to her, gave her a hug. I thought everything was, going to work out between us for the next 6 months. That didn't happen. The next day, January 1st, she was going to have that day off because it was New Year's Day. And so what I got was this really nasty text on Facebook Messenger, all in bold letters, about how she was quitting. So, and I did look up the 13 months pay, and it doesn't matter if you have a written agreement or not, if it's a housekeeper that you're paying cash, or if you have a business and you have an employee, you do have to pay that. It's just that I didn't know anything about it. Now here's where it really got what I didn't like. Okay, she sent me that message saying that she was quitting, that she wasn't happy, and so. But when we arrived on November 1st of 2024, and not long after we had a house that we rented, we paid her month's pay for November. So we paid her, it was like right around the 1st of November for the month that she hadn't worked yet. So then when the next month rolled around, December 1st of 2024, we paid her then, and that was for the month that she hadn't worked yet. So every first of the month for the next year, over a year, we were paying her for the month that she hadn't worked. So on December 31st of 2025, I gave her the 13 months pay plus her monthly pay for the month that she hadn't worked yet, which was January of this year, 2026. She did not work one day in January, but now she has the 12,000 pesos that she didn't work one. Now she had planned, we already agreed that she was going to go over and see her family, and she had an airline ticket for to leave December 6th, and she was going to be gone for 2 weeks. And so I agreed to that. She'd been working for us for over a year, no problem. But then from January 1st through the 5th, she was supposed to be working here, as actually January 2nd through the 5th. And then after the 2 weeks were up, she was supposed to be here. And the likelihood that we're going to get our 12,000 pesos back, pretty slim. She's keeping that money. I could go to an attorney and try to file a case, or go to the barangay, go to the police and file a case. I just don't think it's worth it. So if you end up watching this video, go ahead and keep that money. Just realize that we prepaid that money to you, and you didn't work one day in January. So I think from now on, we don't have a housekeeper. So while we're here in this apartment, and this is temporary because we're having our condo built. So from this point forward, we're going to wash our own dishes. We'll take our laundry to a laundry place next door that's very reasonable on their prices. I haven't done any cooking at all, so I'll end up getting all of my food, either street food. They're like street food, but they have the tables and all of the food available. I can get my morning coffee where I like to go, which is Jayco. So I think when my brother and I get moved into our condo, we've got one payment left, and the unit's supposed to be ready sometime later this year. I think what we're going to handle the day-to-day stuff, like washing dishes and just kind of cleaning up here and there. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through an agency. We're not going to hire somebody directly. We're going to go through an agency, one that conducts background checks on the cleaning ladies. Probably most of them are women. We'll let them conduct the background checks, and so everything's screened So if we have any issues, we can just complain to the agency. They won't be coming as often. It might be like every other week or maybe once a week, twice a month, I'm not sure. But have them come in and do a really deep cleaning, a detailed cleaning for like an 8-hour shift. The last thing is that when we had hired directly and paid cash to who was like a sister to us, is not anymore, and she was working for us, we didn't have any kind of a set agreement that she had to start at a certain time, how long her lunch breaks were going to be, paid breaks in between lunch. We didn't have anything set, like she was going to work a certain amount of time. I didn't really care about that as long as she got her work done. That was all that mattered to me. So, moral of the story here is, if you're a foreigner coming to the Philippines, you're coming to live here, or you're already here and you're thinking about hiring a cleaning lady, know about the 13 months pay. Every December, you got to pay an additional month's pay. And it probably would be a good idea to have some kind of an agreement in writing. So thanks for being here today. Unscripted video, so I'm just going to upload the raw footage and get it up there on YouTube. The individual who I'm talking about, who did housekeeping work for us, has already made a video about me and my brother, and so this is in response. So be sure to subscribe to my channel. I've got loads of information coming. I've got 2 other scripts written, and with my experiences and my research, there's a lot of new stuff that is coming down the pike. So be sure to subscribe, like, share, give this video a thumbs up, and click or tap the bell notification so that you can see future videos. God bless. Peace out.